ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंदप्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय चान्वापते नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from chapter 2 and verse number 64. Now, so this verse we discussed something. Raga dvesha vimuktayastu vishayan indriyash sharan atma paschayad vidheyatma prasadam adhikachati. If a person, but a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So, so in the previous two verses, Lord Krishna explained if somebody meditates, if somebody is contemplating upon the objects of the senses, that means if somebody is meditating upon sense gratification, activities of sense gratification, so even though she may not be doing it physically because of either because of lack of facility or capacity, but still, simply by meditating or contemplating, the person will develop attachment for it, and the end result will be he will fall down again into this material existence. On the other hand, a person uh, who, by following some process, a spiritual process, especially this process of Krishna consciousness, is most powerful process. If somebody can come to the stage of becoming free from raga and dvesh. Raga means attachment for sense gratification. Dvesha means repulsion for Krishna consciousness. So if somebody can become free from vimukta, completely freed from all attachment and aversion for material existence. So although Vishayan Indriya Sharan means although externally or apparently he may be engaged in sense activities, it's not sense gratification, but sense activities, or for that matter, we can say sense gratification also, because senses require certain kind of uh, uh, sense gratification for maintenance of the body. Just like for maintaining the body, we require to eat. So, a Krishna conscious person who is free from rag and dvesha, she may also engage in eating, maybe engaged in eating delicious foodstuffs, but because he is freed from attachment, Vimuktastu, not only just eating, everything, all the senses, a person may be engaged in uh, activities of any sense enjoyment. But if he is freed from attachment, that means he is doing it just for the sake of duty. Just like a householder devotee. So if a householder devotee who is fully Krishna conscious, who is freed from rag and dvesha, he has no attachment for sense gratification, but still, because he is a householder devotee, so in order to produce Krishna conscious children, so he may engage in sexual activities also, but still he is considered to be vimukta, so he is freed, uh, because Atma Vashar Vidhe Atma, because he has no desire for enjoying sense gratification. So, for the sake of performing duty, she may, or for the sake of fulfilling the demands of the body, he may be a Vishyan Indriya Sharan. Indriya Sharan means he is acting upon the sense activities, but Atma Vashar, but he is in full control, Videha Atma, by following the regulative principles. So one who follows the regulative principle. So she becomes eligible for prasadam adhigacchati, for the means eligible to attain the mercy of the Lord. You can get the mercy of the Lord. So this is what is Lord Krishna is explaining. The most important point in this verse is that Atma Vashya Vidheyat. This is most important. Without Vidheyatma, without following the regulatory principles of devotional service, one cannot have control over his senses, mind and senses. And one whose mind and senses are not under control, definitely he will use his mind and senses apart from fulfilling prescribed duties. He will also use it for his own sense enjoyment, and in this way he will get entangled. But a person who strictly follows regulatory principles of devotional service, he develops full control over his mind and senses. So even though sometimes when it is required to engage in activities of sense gratification, he does it for the sake of duty and not for the sake of getting some sense enjoyment. So such a person becomes eligible for prasadam, means mercy of the Supreme Lord. This is what is the essence of this verse. So it is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process, but unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of a fall. So we have already discussed this in previous verses. Although a person may try to externally control the senses by some artificial process, because one does require to control his senses by any means, because by engaging in activities of sense gratification, person uh, experiences miserable situation in his life. So one may attempt to artificially control his mind and senses, but that does not work properly because there will be every chance of falling down uh, until unless one engages his senses in transcendental service of the Lord. So until unless one engages his eyes in seeing the form of the Lord, ears in hearing about the Lord, tongue in glorifying or chanting the holy name of the Lord. So in this way, and eating prasadam of the Lord, there will be every chance of using all these senses in a perverted way. So although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. So on the other hand, a person who is Krishna conscious, who is fully Krishna conscious, he may apparently be seen to be engaged in sensual activities. But because he is Krishna conscious, he has no attachment for such sensual activities. That means that he has full control over it. So he is not bound in this material existence. So this is very highly elevated stage. So Krishna is explaining about the stage of a person who is situated in full Krishna consciousness. Sthita pragya saka bhasa. Arjuna asked this question. So the Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Because the central point or the important thing for a Krishna conscious person is that he is concerned only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. For the satisfaction of Krishna, he can do anything. Uh, Even if sometimes he has to engage in some sensual activities, he can engage it just for the satisfaction of Krishna, not for his own sense enjoyment. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment also. Because he is attached to Krishna, so That's why she becomes transcendental to material attachment and as well as aversion for sense enjoyment. Just like Mayavadis, they are averse to sense enjoyment. If you give them Mayavadis, if you give them very palatable dishes to eat, they will say, no, 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 this is Maya, Maya. So this is aversion. And materialistic person, they are very much attached for sense enjoyment. But a Krishna conscious person is neither attached nor detached. Means for his own satisfaction, he doesn't desire to eat palatable dishes. But if some palatable dishes are offered to Krishna, and then Mahaprasadam is offered to a transcendental, a Krishna conscious person, he eats such a transcendental Mahaprasadam, palatable Mahaprasadam with great delight, understanding very well that it is Krishna's Mahaprasadam, Krishna has eaten it. So if Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna doesn't want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. So this is the criteria of a Krishna conscious person. If Krishna wants, a devotee can do something which is not desirable. In sense enjoyment, sense gratification is not desirable. But if Krishna wants, devotee can do this. Just like Arjuna is a pure devotee. So naturally, any pure devotee, it doesn't hanker after worldly pleasures, worldly kingdom. So Arjuna was not hankering after kingdom, but because Krishna wanted, so when Arjuna understood that yes, Krishna wants this, so I must fight. So he fought and he became victorious. He gained the kingdom, and all the Pandavas they ruled as per the desire of the Lord. All the Pandavas they lived in a royal way and ruled over all over the kingdom. So this is one example. And similarly, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. If Krishna doesn't want, so Krishna conscious person is ready not to do such activities if it is undesirable by Krishna. Uh, just like Arjuna was desiring very much to retire and live by begging and avoid the fighting for the sake of his friends and relatives. But when Krishna desired, no, you should fight. So the same Arjuna, then ordinarily he would not have done this fighting. He would not have fought for his own satisfaction. But because Krishna desired, he fought and he killed all the opposite party. So therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This is the main important point. If somebody desires to develop full control over his mind and senses, uh, so this control, whether to act or not to act, uh, is this control one can get if one develops this intense desire, if one becomes determined that he will act only under the direction of Guru and Krishna. Whatever Guru and Krishna wants, that only I will act. So such a person then uh, is able to control his mind and senses. So this Krishna consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. So this consciousness, uh, which we discussed in today's entire class, this Krishna consciousness means to act under the direction of Krishna or to act for his satisfaction only. To act for the satisfaction of Krishna in a way which is ordinarily not desirable, and to not act for the same satisfaction of Krishna, which is ordinarily desirable to do. So this kind of consciousness is not so easy to get. This is the causeless mercy of the Lord. And this pure form of Krishna consciousness, a devotee can get only by the causeless mercy of the Lord, and this causeless mercy of the Lord uh, one can get by the causeless mercy of his devotee, Krishna's devotee. Then somebody may ask, then how is it causeless mercy of the Lord? It is caused by his pure devotees. Uh, that is why it is causeless mercy, because it is caused only by his pure devotees. Because it is caused by the pure devotee of the Lord. That means there is no other cause. That's why it is causeless mercy of the Lord. Understand? So that's why which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. So if any devotee who comes under the shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord, so by serving such a pure devotee and by getting blessings, benediction, and association and causeless mercy of a pure devotee, one becomes a sent person eligible to achieve causeless mercy of the Lord. And the result of such causeless mercy is that one develops such kind of pure Krishna consciousness, upon gaining which the person can come to this platform. Raga dvesha vimuktastu vishayan indriyacharan atmavashya vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Okay. So even if in that platform, even if he is acting on sensual platforms, sometimes still he will never get entangled. Just like Ambarish Maharaj. Although he was a king and he was fully engaged in his governmental activities and sensual activities also, but he was not affected because he achieved the causeless mercy of the Lord, because he engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, so let's stop here with this. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna. How to get pure devotee's mercy? So it is very easy to get pure devotee's mercy. The first step in getting the mercy of a pure devotee is that we should hear him very attentively, his instructions, and then whatever instructions he gives, if we follow it in our life and we serve him, then we can achieve his mercy. And this is the process. Okay. Yes, Swayam bro.
हाँ प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
जैसे कि मतलब भगवद गीता में कृष्ण जी को बोले कि कृष्ण जी अर्जुन को बोले कि हाँ तो पहले अपना कर्म करो। वैसा हम जैसे मेटेरियली हम कुछ करना मतलब करना चाहते हैं तो फिर क्यों बोला जाता है कि फर्स्ट इज डिवोशनल सर्विस सर्विस।
So भगवान कृष्ण ने कौन से श्लोक में ऐसा बोला अर्जुन को कि तुम अपना बस कर्म करो?
प्रभु जी जब सारांश में मेरे को पता है बस जब अर्जुन बोल रहे थे कि मेरे को ये युद्ध युद्ध नहीं करना है बस मेरे को सन्यासी बन जाना है बन के जंगल में जाना है तो उसी टाइम में बोले कि युद्ध के बारे में।
So भगवान कृष्ण, अच्छा सोशल मीडिया की गीता में सुना आपने? Anyway, तो भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को अलग अलग लेवल पे फाइट करने के लिए प्रेरित किए। हाँ, तो फर्स्ट लेवल अर्जुन को भगवान बोले कि देखो अर्जुन, अगर आप युद्ध करोगे सो यू विल गेट स्वर्ग। क्षत्रिय क्षत्रिय धर्म के ऊपर विचार करते हुए ये आपका कर्तव्य है, जिससे आपको स्वर्ग मिलेगा। हाँ, तो ये कर्मकांडीय तरीके से भगवान अर्जुन को प्रेरित किए। फिर इसके एक ऊपर लेवल उठा के लेके गए। फिर अब भगवान बोले अर्जुन को कि इससे भी श्रेष्ठ है अर्जुन, कि you should fight as a matter of duty, understanding that you are a kshatriya and it is your duty to fight. And if you don't fight, that means you are avoiding your duty as a kshatriya, and for this reason you will incur sin, you will have to go to hell. So ये ड्यूटी के स्तर पे वहां लेके गए। फिर फाइनली टॉप मोस्ट लेवल पे लेके गए अर्जुन को, बोले अर्जुन ये सब छोड़ो। डिजायर फॉर सेंस एंजॉयमेंट, डिजायर टू गेट पायस, piety, and desire to become free from sinful reaction. ये सब रीजन मेन रीजन है, because I am telling you that you must fight because I am supreme lord. So this is my desire that you fight, and by doing so, you will be performing my devotional service. तो इसलिए भगवान बोले कि माँ मनुस्मरण युद्ध चाह, यू फाइट रिमेम्बरिंग मी, दैट दिस इज व्हाट आई डिजायर। हाँ, ये अर्जुन के केस में भगवान बोले। तो हमारे लिए भगवान अल्टीमेटली क्या बोलते हैं भगवान, फाइनली अर्जुन को बताए कि अल्टीमेटली ऑल सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस का सारा जो कंक्लूजन है, जो टॉप मोस्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन है, शुरू में परवम परमम वचा। हाँ, ये देखिए गीता का मैं आपको श्लोक दिखाता हूँ। फाइनली 18वें अध्याय में जा करके, क्योंकि देखिए अर्जुन को धीरे धीरे भगवान ग्रेजुअली प्रोग्रेस कराए, एकाएक नहीं बोल सकते थे। हाँ, तो इसलिए पहले कर्तव्य के लेवल से फिर उठा के लेके गए बुद्धि योग भक्ति योग तक, और फाइनली बोले कि शुणु में परमम वचा, परमम, शुणु में परमम वचा। यह गीता के 18वें अध्याय में है, शुणु में परमम वचा। 18.64, सर्वगुह्यतमं भूया शृणु मे परमं वचा। हाँ, इस लोग दिख रहे हैं आप। इष्टो अस्य मे दृढ़मिति, ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्, बिकॉज यू आर माई वेरी डियर फ्रेंड, आई एम स्पीकिंग टू यू माई सुप्रीम इंस्ट्रक्शन। परमम वचा मतलब माई सुप्रीम इंस्ट्रक्शन, द मोस्ट कॉन्फिडेंशियल नॉलेज ऑफ ऑल। अभी तक जितना भी ज्ञान दिया, कर्म योग ज्ञान योग ध्यान योग सबसे लेकर के, जो सबसे जो है, अरे क्या हो गया, ट्रांसलेट क्यों करते हैं बिना आदेश के? ऐसे होता है, लोग बिना आदेश के गीता को अपने मनमाने तरीके से ट्रांसलेट कर देते हैं। 18.64 है ना। एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी इंटेलिजेंट हो जाता है गूगल भी तो। क्यों ट्रांसलेट कराएंगे, प्रभुपाद जितना सुंदर ट्रांसलेशन दिए हैं, गूगल ट्रांसलेट क्यों कराएंगे? सो द मोस्ट कॉन्फिडेंशियल नॉलेज ऑफ ऑल, हियर दिस फ्रॉम मी फॉर इट इज फॉर योर बेनिफिट। बड़े ध्यान से इसको सुनो, तुम्हारे लाभ के लिए बता रहा हूँ अर्जुन। सुनिए ध्यान से, भगवान बोल रहे हैं द सुप्रीम मोस्ट माय सुप्रीम इंस्ट्रक्शन। और इसके बाद फिर ये श्लोक बोलते हैं, सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम व्रजा। क्या है सुप्रीम इंस्ट्रक्शन भगवान आपका? सब छोड़ दो अर्जुन, केवल मेरा ही शरण ले लो। अरे भगवान क्या बोला आपने? आपने पहले तो बोला था युद्ध नहीं करूंगा तो ये क्षत्रिय धर्म से बाहर छोड़ूंगा तो पाप लगेगा। भगवान बोला टेंशन नहीं लेने का, हम तो हम सर्व पापे पे मोक्ष में मां सूचा, सारे पाप से मैं मुक्त कर दूंगा तुमको। अबंडन ऑल वेराइटीज ऑफ रिलीजन, सारे धर्म, देश धर्म, मातृ धर्म, पितृ धर्म, देव धर्म, हाँ, और क्या क्या धर्म है, सब धर्म बोले, ऑल वेराइटी। आई शैल डिलीवर यू फ्रॉम ऑल सिंफुल रिएक्शंस, डू नॉट फियर, जस्ट सरेंडर इनटू मी। अच्छा ठीक है भगवान, आपको ही सरेंडर कर देता हूँ। तो सारे धर्म को छोड़ दूं, सारे कार्य छोड़ दूं, आपको सरेंडर कर दूं, सरेंडर करके क्या करूं? तो बोले भगवान सरेंडर करके आप मेरा मन मना भव मद भक्तो मध्याजी माम नमस्कुरु, माम में वैश्य से सत्यम प्रति जानो प्रिय। ये करो आप, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me, thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my pure devotee. You are my devotee। तो भगवान इस प्रकार से अर्जुन को बोल दी। ठीक है, समझ गया। ये हैंग क्यों हो जा रहा है? समय हो गया इसलिए हैंग हो रहा है। एनीवे, ओके, हरे कृष्ण।